All right. Should we trade Brock Purdy?
Let's trade him.
Oh, for some other quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get this guy out of here.
Let's
I
get him
mean,
out of here. Let's get Bo Nix. Let's get Trevor
there's
Lawrence.
some, yeah, there's some that I'm willing to trade him for.
There are a few, but not in my opinion, not that many.
Yeah,
So obviously I didn't really want to make a list, and I just went and found Chris Sims. Is it sideways for you, Jason?
No, I was just reading the little things that's like the
Yeah,
damn okay and
yeah. And I don't want to go through all of these, but there are, I don't know, there's about half the league here, maybe 10 or 15, maybe 20 names I would say we should go through. So let's just start right at the top. Here's what we'll do. We'll pretend like we're the GM of the Niners and the GM of this team, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs. They call and they offer their quarterback for Purdy. Do you say yes? Do you say no? And if you say no, what would it take to get you to say yes? As far as another player on their team, draft capital, 1 picks, 2 picks, whatever it would take for you to pull the trigger. So the Chiefs offer Patrick Mahomes. Do they need to add anything to that? Or are you saying yes or are you saying no? Jason, you go first.
no, they don't need to add anything. I feel like we gotta add stuff.
Yeah.
I would accept it without a moment's hesitation, even with Mahomes' contract. Yeah, give me Mahomes. I want some Super Bowl.
Are we just evaluating just based on play, Ryan? Like, it's not. Are we concerned about money? Are we concerned about age? Are we concerned
Age and
about
contract.
I think we should, because the salary cap is so important in this league. And, you know, for example, like I would take Trevor Lawrence if I could pay him $10 million. But $55 million, I don't want you anywhere near my team. So let's assume also that Brock Purdy is going to get paid. So he's not a $1 million quarterback right now. Let's say he's at least a $55 million quarterback. And he can make the case for 60 because Dak's getting 60, and he could look at the Niners like, I'm better than Dak.
So basically treat this like it's a real world thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying just for this one game or just for this one
No,
season. This is like you're the GM now, and
we're moving forward. Yeah, take the age, the draft picks, the contracts. We're moving forward with Patrick Mahomes as quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. Do you agree, Steve?
Yeah. I'm going to accept that deal.
Okay, Bills call. They want to send Josh Allen, 49er fan, Fresno alum. He's from Fresno. I think he went to school in Wisconsin or Wyoming, wherever. Wyoming. Jason, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm accepting it in a heartbeat. I am worried that Josh gets beat up a lot, and I feel like he's maybe going to have some concussion issues at some point in the near future. That concerns me, but yeah, I'm still accepting it. He is extremely good, a top 3 quarterback in the league. I'm taking that for sure.
Same.
Yeah, I think Josh is easily top 2. I think he's right there behind him. I mean, I don't know. Lamar's making a case, but Joe Burrow. Bengals
He's the other one that's easy for me. Don't even have to think about it. Yeah, I'm taking Joe Burrow.
See, it's interesting for you to, like, I think
the rest of them are going to be interesting conversations.
I feel like Burrow is still more hype than proof. Like, I feel like he's living off of getting to 1 Super Bowl. And then, of course, he played awesome when they played the Niners last season. So he looked great for us when we were watching like every snap, right? But he has already proven to be injury prone. And I don't like, I'm probably doing it just to be honest, because of like, the pedigree and the size and what he can do. But I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's like a slam dunk if you're evaluating results. Because if you're looking at results, Purdy's actually accomplished more.
Yeah. I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I feel like Burrow's a slam dunk, like absolute slam dunk. You know what he's done that Purdy hasn't been able to do, and it's been a very short sample size, so I'm not hating by any means. It's beat the damn Chiefs. Burrow is the Chiefs killer, and so I want that guy as my quarterback.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't. I'm somewhere in the middle. Although I lean toward Chasen. This is a yes for me.
Oh, it's still a yes. To be clear, it's still a yes for me. I just don't see it as a slam dunk. Like it's funny that you said there's gonna be some interesting conversations. I would take Lamar over Burrow in a heartbeat. I know we're coming up on him. Like
I would agree.
if you told me to pick between those two, but Burrow's higher on this list, and
Hmm.
for me, so sorry, I'll just get us to number four. Lamar is an easy, quick yes, whereas Burrow, I'm at least thinking about it.
I feel the exact opposite. I feel like I literally traded where like I'm gonna say yes for sure, but it's not as easy for me as Burrow or Mahomes or Josh Allen. I just feel like with Lamar, I question like would he fit with Kyle Shanahan's offense? Like, I don't know if that's going to be a great fit. I know he's so good that he could make it a fit and he can make a lot happen. But I feel like these other guys would fit in seamlessly with the offense where Lamar, I at least have to question it. And then with Lamar, it's kind of like longevity. It's like what part of what makes him so awesome is how freakishly athletic he is. And in like 5 years, 5 to 8 years, let's just say, I still think Purdy's going to be slinging it like top of the league, really, really darn good. And I don't know if Lamar will be at that point once he started to slow down and he's not as freak of an athlete.
I think Lamar is great just as a pocket passer. I feel like all his athleticism is a bonus, so I don't have any concerns there. I feel like it's Steve Young, where when he was younger and he could run all around, that was amazing. And then as he got older and he couldn't quite do it as much, he was still a great passer. So I'm not worried about that part. But yeah, that's fine. Agree to disagree.
Steve Young has the reputation. He's known as one of the most accurate quarterbacks that this sport has ever seen. So for him to turn from running quarterback to that is super impressive. And yeah, Lamar's a slam dunk yes for me. Because like Steven, I think he's a really good pocket passer, and eventually he won't be able to run as much, but I still trust that he's going to be a really good player. Number five on this list, who's if we were to do rankings right now, he wouldn't be number five, but going into the season, he's an excellent quarterback, super talented, won a Super Bowl. Um, kind of cheap. I feel like he's only making like 35 in the mid 30s right now. He hasn't gotten that big 45 or $50 contract yet. Matthew Stafford.
I got a lot of respect for Stafford. It's going to be a no from me. Definitely not with his current age, and he's been injury prone as he's been older as well. So it's going to be a big no from me. Maybe a young Stafford, I would consider it. I would definitely consider it. Because man, with these weapons and that defense, and if we had him when he was like 25 years old, we could rip off some Super Bowls like the Rams did when they were super talented. But this aged Stafford, it's definitely a no for me.
So what do the Rams need to add to Stafford to get you to pull the trigger? Because
Like,
that gets interesting because they have some young talented players, draft picks. What is it?
I don't know. I just wouldn't want him at all.
For this
I don't
exercise,
know.
you got to make the trade. So you're like, all right, I'm going to name my price. Give me a
All
first
right.
round pick and Puka Nakua too.
That's what immediately came to mind. But I'll let them keep Puka. I'm gonna say throw in 2 first rounders and we'll take Stafford. You can have Purdy.
Wow. So, I mean that's steep. That's showing how much you don't want him. See, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm also a no. I feel like if even if it was 3 years ago, I'd probably be a yes. It doesn't have to be like 25-year-old Stafford,
Dang.
even if it was just 3 to 5 years ago. But
I would
age is
take
the
30-year-old
biggest.
Stafford in a heartbeat.
Damn. But Purdy's so young.
Yeah,
I
well,
know that's what makes it tough for sure.
but if you're saying that we have to get to a point where we are making the trade, I would like. I feel like they have some really good young guys on the D line, so I wouldn't mind taking one or two of those guys, and then maybe a pick, like a first or second round pick, depending on which guy you get on the D line. Because I do still think Stafford, if he was on a veteran team that had talent, he's probably got at least another 2 3 seasons in him where he's going to play at a high level. But part of why I say no, because you said I'm the GM now, Purdy's the future. Like you can if you have to go through a rebuild, you can keep him and rebuild around him. You can't do that with Stafford.
Yeah, this one's tough. I lean toward Jason. Like if you sent me Stafford and 2 first round picks, I would go all in to win a Super Bowl over the next 2 seasons because that's probably all he's got left. And I'm drafting a new quarterback with one of those 1st round picks to either sit behind him or maybe with that second pick the following year. But I would say 2 first round picks is what I would need because Purdy's future, the next 10, 12, 18 years, if he's that type of player and he can be on the Niners for that long, that's almost invaluable. That's really tough. Um, Number 6 on this list, I feel like I'm probably going to be higher in this player than you guys. So I'll go first. But Justin Herbert, I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. Honestly, the only thing that concerns me is he's always a little injured, it feels like.
Yep.
Other than that, he's huge and he has an incredible arm. And it's not just one of those guys where like he can chuck the ball far and he can hit all the routes. He can also like layer it and throw it soft and hit the check down when he needs to. I love watching Justin Herbert highlights. I just love the way he throws the ball. It's the tight spiral. It's the accuracy. I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. I think he'd be awesome if he was a 49er. So 1 for 1 for Purdy, especially given Herbert's age, I'm taking that trade.
I went into this leaning no, but you actually just convinced me to lean yes. I'm also pretty high on Herbert. He's really damn good. So I could kind of go either way. 1-to-1, yeah, I would take it. I think he has a little bit more, just a little more raw talent. And man, I hate saying that against Purdy because people always are like, he's not tall enough. He doesn't have a strong enough arm. And I hate when people always
Because
criticize
they're
him for
thinking
that.
of guys like Justin Herbert.
Yeah, exactly. And now that's exactly what I'm doing. But I'm sorry, Purds. I think I would take Herbert.
Yeah, I was a yes too, Ryan. Like it wasn't. Don't have to convince me. I mean, it's strange to say. Maybe I'm just a Burrow hater, but I feel like it's almost an easier yes to Herbert than Burrow for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I like Burrow. He's got a good arm, but Herbert might have the best arm in the NFL. I mean, Patrick Mahomes might have the most like diverse, kind of the shortstop, the sidearm, some of that unique stuff. But I feel like Herbert can do most, if not all of that, and he's just got he's probably got to have the biggest and most accurate arm in the league, in my opinion. Number 7 on this list, the phenom, C.J. Stroud, D'Amico Ryan's Texans, C.J. Stroud. 1 for 1 for Purdy, yes or no? Jason, go ahead.
Yes, and I'll throw in a first rounder from the Niners. I love
Oh my
CJ
gosh.
Stroud. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's a freak. I think he's gonna get even better. Big, tall, strong, athletic, super accurate, good leader. Big fan of CJ Stroud. I would definitely take him.
Before you answer, Steven, that Jason's answer kind of made me think we should have done that at the beginning with Mahomes and Allen and those guys. It's like, okay, obviously it's a guess, but what do you think you would need to add to that price to get them? Like, let's just do Mahomes. What would the Chiefs need with Brock Purdy to say yes to that trade?
Bosa and 2 first-round picks.
Man, their D line would be scary with Chris Jones and Bosa.
Yeah, that's almost an impossible conversation to have because the amount of money that he just generates for the Chiefs was probably like they're like, we don't care about your draft picks, your edge rusher. Are you kidding me?
I don't know that you could make an offer big enough. I don't. I mean, he's
No.
the
Rights to the
face.
49ers.
Yeah, he's the face of the league. He's a generational guy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. All right, Steven, CJ Stroud, 1 for 1.
It's funny. Like Chasen's so high on him. I'm a yes, but I'm a more have to think about it yes. And it's not anything against Stroud. I just feel like Purdy has proven more, especially in this offense. And so, I think Stroud could be great in Shanahan's offense, and he might be great in any offense. Like Jason said, he's got a lot of talent. But yeah, I'm a yes I'm just not a oh my gosh yes. And I'm if they say they're not doing one for one, you got to throw in something. I'm not throwing in much. Like I'm good with Purdy.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm if they say give me Purdy in a fifth round pick, I'm just keeping Purdy. I feel like Purdy and Stroud are neck and neck. I almost want to give Purdy the edge because he looks like Allen Iverson out there sometimes. The way he jukes guys out, he can run. And I haven't seen CJ do that. He can scramble, but I haven't seen him run like Purdy. But he's a little bigger, got a little better arms. So I would, uh, still on the rookie deal, I guess. I would probably say yes, but I'm not adding anything to Purdy to get him. Dak Prescott, on the other hand, um,
Give me Micah.
I'm at
That's the only way I'm listening to you. You
Oh
got
my
to give
god.
me Micah as well, or I'm saying
yeah,
no.
there it is. Give me Dak and Micah, and you can have Brock.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Dak. I think he's a little overrated. I think he is a good quarterback. I think he's an above average quarterback. But I would not take him over Purdy. Definitely not.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
with you,
yeah,
Chasen. He is a good quarterback. He gets a raw deal in Dallas, but not such a good quarterback that you want him over Purdy.
no.
No, I agree. I would take Purdy over Dak easy. But if you add Micah to it, and I compare him with Bosa, even for just like 2 seasons, that might be worth it.
I would take that.
Number 9 here, Philly Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Um, I think Jalen Hurts is overrated. He can run good. He's big and strong. I don't trust him to throw the ball. I just don't trust him in big games. He's had that one year. He looked awesome in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and he hasn't looked good since. For me to trade Purdy for Hurts, I would say I think if you send me a Jalen and a first round pick, I would strongly consider that. But I think Purdy is way better than Hurts. First round pick might do it, it might not. I would have to think long and hard, but that's probably about my price.
Jalen Hurts reminds me of like Russell Wilson early on in his career, where he's like an athletic game manager who occasionally can like hit the deep ball. I think
That's
he's
Yeah, that sounds
horrifically,
really accurate.
yeah,
that's a great comparison, I think.
yeah, and he needs a strong defense. He needs a good run game, and then he can be efficient enough. He can move around enough to make some plays, and they can be a darn good football team. But if they don't have that perfect formula, which it's fallen apart a little bit in Philly, then I don't think he can. I don't think he can be an effective quarterback. I think he's horrifically overrated. There's a lot of guys lower on this list, even quite a bit lower, that I think I'd rather have over Jalen. So I would need at least a first rounder and maybe throw in a third rounder or something. Like I'd even need a little bit more than a first rounder. But yeah,
I
Yeah,
am
I
I
hear
am
you.
low. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just saying I hear like when I said a first round pick would make me think about it, I would probably get greedy and say I need a little more actually.
I I'm low on him. I would say if we're making this trade, then you're giving me my choice, giving me my choice of one of your D linemen and one of your offensive linemen. And if I can
both
have
of them.
my choice of somebody from both sides of the trenches, then I'm thinking about it, and I may still want more.
Throw a second round pick on there or something. I like
Yeah,
that. In fact, we're gonna keep Trent Williams. You keep your left tackle. We'll take the other 4, and you can have our other 4.
yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go.
All right, a guy that Brock gets compared to quite a bit. At least I've seen sometimes. Jared Goff.
it's a definite no from me, but I do like Goff. I think he gets dogged on too much and he's better than people think he is. But I definitely wouldn't take him over Purdy. If I was to take Goff, give me how old is Goff? Like 32, 33, something like that? Young 30s,
I don't even think
Yeah,
he's that old. Maybe he's
32,
30,
30.
30.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Give me
31
Goff
ish.
in a second rounder. That'll be my trade.
Okay, so all right, that's good. you're high on Goff. Steven, what do you think?
I don't like Goff. Like I mean, I feel like he's almost become a sympathetic figure for how he was, sent off to Detroit, and now it's a feel good story that Detroit's turned around. But I've just never been that impressed with him when I've seen him play, and so I feel like it would take quite a bit. Like I'm not saying he's terrible. I think he's a serviceable quarterback, but I think that he's been uplifted by good teams. That's the argument that against Purdy all the time, right? So he's been uplifted by good teams, and when he hasn't had good teams, he hasn't looked good. And I feel like I'd need probably a couple like a first, or if you're not going to give me a first, then give me like 2 seconds, or second and a couple thirds or something like it. Yeah, it would have to be pretty compelling for me.
So Jared Goff just turned 30 years old on Monday.
Yeah, I
Dang,
thought
he's younger than I thought.
I thought
Yeah,
that
he
was
is
about his
actually.
age.
Yeah, so for Goff, kind of like what he got sent off for to the Rams. Goff in a first, or to the Lions. Goff in a first round pick. Mm, I would probably do that. I don't know. See, he's kind of like Jalen Hurts, although I would take Goff over Hurts
I probably
easy.
would too.
So I would say he's about the same. Maybe Goff in a first and a third or something like that. I'd probably do it. Trevor Lawrence. I'll start with Trevor Lawrence. I want no part of Trevor Lawrence. I think he's closer to a bust than he is a franchise quarterback. I would say you give me Trevor Lawrence and the Trey Lance package, 3 1s and a 3, and
Mm.
whoever, what was that? The rookie wide receiver they just drafted. I'll take him too. I'll take another cheap wide receiver.
Yeah,
I do not like Trevor. What do you think, Jason?
I feel pretty similarly. I do recognize that he's got some talent, and I think with a good system, with a good quarterback, with some talent around him, he'll be better. I'm not saying he's going to be super good, but I do think he'll be serviceable, could even be above average. But no, yeah, I need like at least 2 first rounders, maybe a little bit more than that too, in order to take Trevor.
See, I think I'm probably a little higher on him than both of you guys. I'm not doing it, of course, right? I'm not making the trade, but um, I think I'm a little higher because of his age. And like Chasen said, you get him in a different system. Maybe he looks a little better. I don't know how much support he's had, whether you want to say that's coaching, whether you want to say that's talent around him, whatever. And it's Jacksonville. I mean, what have they? Yeah. Anyways, don't want to hate on him too much, but so for me, it would take kind of like Chasen said, probably a couple firsts, or a first and a bunch of other picks. Which is funny to say, like first pick in the draft versus the last pick in the draft, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Dang right.
he hasn't done enough to show that you can just bank on that talent at this point.
Yeah, I'll take Trevor in the Trey Lance package, 3 1s and a 3. Uh, Kirk O'Chains coming off the Achilles, 30, I don't know, 35, 36, whatever he is. Jason, would you take Kirk?
No, but I would take him over like Trevor, Jared, Jalen, maybe even Dak. I like Kirk. I think Kirk's talented. I think he can throw the ball really well. I think Kyle's wanted him for a long time for a reason. I think he could be really good in our offense, maybe similar to like how Matt Ryan was in Atlanta with Kyle. So like, I wouldn't take him, but I don't know. Give me Kirk in like a second rounder, and I think I would do it.
That's way too cheap.
I would disagree.
Thanks, Brock.
He just
Yeah,
threw for 500 yards not that long ago. The guy can sling it.
he can't move. He's old, and Brock can move, and he's young. And I feel like Brock is every bit as accurate as Kirk. So I'm going to need the Trey Lance package plus with Kirk to take that.
I mean,
All right, fair enough.
Jason knows how I felt about Kirk Cousins for a long time. I've never been a fan. I feel like, yeah, he will get all kinds of stats, and we probably go like 10-7 every year, and beat the teams we're supposed to, and lose to any of the tough ones, and our primetime games record would go down huge, and have no success in the playoffs. And I just have no faith in him. I feel like he always comes up small. It seems like when you really need him to come up big, and that may not be fair, but convince me otherwise, man. Like it just, I'm with Ryan. I need the Trey Lance package plus. I probably want that doubled before I'm taking Kirk Cousins, especially at this point of his career.
All right, let's move along to a guy who's currently ranked probably way too low right now. Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love a lot. I I would probably trade Jordan for Brock 1-for-1. I'm not adding to Brock, and I don't think I need the Packers to add anything. I think they're very similar. Jordan's a little bigger, a little more talented arm, but I think Brock and Jordan are probably both top 7 quarterbacks in the league. I would take Jordan.
I haven't come around to Jordan yet, and admittedly, I need to watch more Packer tape. Or I'm saying tape like I watch any tape. I need to watch more Packers.
22.
I need to watch more Packers games when they're on, because I just don't get it quite yet. And maybe I will at some point once I watch him more. But even when he played the Niners in the playoffs, I feel like I wasn't overly impressed. I thought his team was pretty darn talented and he made enough throws. But I feel like he missed some throws too. And so
And
I
he
don't
did
know.
make
I need to
one
watch.
disastrous throw.
Say again.
He did make one disastrous throw at the end of the game, too, to seal it.
And I appreciated that.
So
So
did
I don't
Trey.
know. I need like a second rounder to take Jordan, but I'll admit I could be wrong, and I just need to watch him more. But I don't really get the Jordan hype yet.
I was the same way. I didn't get it, but the more I watch him, the more I'm impressed.
I think I'm close. I'm close to chasing on this one. I'm keeping Brock over Jordan Love. I just think that he's just going to run your offense better, make smarter decisions, and going to process quicker. I do think that Jordan Love probably has more physical tools, but not a lot. So yeah, I would need something extra if I'm going to make that trade. Probably not like a first, but I would want something pretty high, like a second or a couple thirds, honestly.
Fair enough. We'll try and move some of these other ones a little bit quicker. Like Aaron Rodgers, for example. There's nothing the Jets could send me to take Aaron Rodgers.
Nope. Wouldn't even think about it.
Baker Mayfield's kind of interesting because Baker's playing the best ball of his career right now, but I still want Brock younger and better. I would need at least a first round pick. In fact, give me Baker. Okay, this is probably gonna be a little greedy. Give me Baker, a first, and Tristan Wirfs, and I'll do that deal.
That is greedy. Yeah, I'd need Baker, a first, and then some extra change. I don't know, maybe another third rounder or something like that.
I don't want to make the deal, honestly. Like I feel like Brock is younger and better. And yeah, Baker's playing well right now, but I've also seen him play bad. Haven't really seen Brock play bad yet. So I'll stick with the guy that I know that's consistent.
Yeah, Brock will have a bad quarter, a bad half, a bad game once in a while, but Baker will have bad years. Kyler Murray, former Oakland A. What do you think, Jason?
That's a no from me. I know he is super talented, and I want to put some respect on his name for that. But he doesn't win enough games. I still don't know if I trust him all the way to throw the ball and be like a pocket passer. So when his running slows down, super talented, but I wouldn't take him. Also, I am concerned with some of like the maturity issues, and I don't know if he's a guy you want to like be the face of your team. So I would need Murray plus a first rounder and a second rounder.
I'm going to say no as well. I'd rather keep Brock, but you probably don't have to make the package as rich as you would for Baker. Like I would listen to you for Kyler more than Baker. I still think Kyler has a lot of potential that has not been tapped because of the situation that he's been put in. And it's not like it's been all bad, but they were running the gimmicky offense for the longest time. They finally move on from that, and then he gets hurt. And I feel like he's probably back to full health now. But yeah, he can do some things that Brock can't. So that's why it's intriguing.
Yeah, I would say give me Kyler, give me Marvin Harrison Jr., and give me Buddha.
Buddha.
I love how you go for their like top player, like the one guy they wouldn't want to give away. Tristan Wirfs. Give me Marvin Harrison.
Well, I'm also thinking about what would they add to our team. Like, imagine if Tristan Wirfs was playing right tackle for us.
Oh my God, that might.
Our safeties right now are solid, but they're young and inexperienced. Imagine if you just throw Buddha Baker back there.
Oh my God.
I think Kittle would love having him on the team.
I think a lot of Niners would. They seem to have a crush on him. It's all they could talk about is how good he is and how well he covers them and how hard he hits them. They got a little man crush on him.
I would even say you guys can keep Marvin Harrison Jr. because we've got wide receivers. We got Ricky Pearsall. We're good. Give me Trey McBride. Put alongside George Kittle.
I would love that.
There's the GOAT right there at 17. We can skip over him. Tua. I want no part of Tua.
It's
injury prone.
It's a sad situation with Tua, honestly, because like it just, like he has some potential, obviously, but man, it's like I don't know. I feel bad for the guy, but no, I don't want any part of him either.
Yeah,
I don't want any part of him.
Package.
Yeah. What's interesting though is like he has proven he can be successful in our offense because when he's been healthy, he's been pretty dang productive in Mike McDonald's offense. So like he probably would be an easy, quick transition in, could probably be productive, hit the ground running. But yeah, no, with those concussions, I don't even know how much longer he's going to play. I don't want any part of him. I would need Trey Lance plus.
I think he led the league in passing yards last year.
Did he?
I think he did. And
good for him.
I wonder if Kyle would just lose his mind. Like the left-handed quarterback thing would just throw him off so much. He's like, no, I just can't do it. Geno Smith, that's going to be no for me, dog. There's no package.
No, same. Yeah.
So you know what's funny is I also would say no, of course, especially at this point of his career and everything. I just have this weird feeling that Geno would actually be really good in the Niners offense. I don't think he would be better than Purdy, and that's why I'm saying no. But like whenever his days are done in Seattle, and if he's trying to hang on for a few more years, and like we just need a veteran backup, I feel like he could do a lot worse than Geno Smith.
Oh, hell yeah! I would take Geno as a backup
for sure. I'd love him as a backup.
Yeah, I mean, if he went to the if JJ McCarthy's still hurt and Sam Darnold gets a bunch of money somewhere else and he goes to the Vikings, like he would be good there. If he went to LA or something, that Shanahan scheme, I think he'd do really well too. Maybe one. There's two more quarterbacks in here that I think we can maybe touch on. Two rookies, Caleb Williams for the Bears. I like Caleb a lot. So far, he's shown some potential, but I would need Caleb plus, I don't know, Montez Sweat or something for Brock.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched enough of the Bears, and what I was watching was early on when he was struggling, and I was just like, what in the world? I'm also a little thrown off with like his personality and his leadership style. Like I know he's really loud and boisterous. So I don't know. I need to see more of it before I feel comfortable making the trade. I would definitely need another first rounder. So I'll say Caleb in a first rounder for me.
Yeah, I'm a no, and I don't really know what I would need. I don't have an informed enough opinion, like Jason said, of Caleb. I just the little that I've seen, I feel like he's a lot of hype right now, and yeah, I just need more proven. So you need a pretty rich package to get me to move Purdy for him.
That's fair. He is on the rookie year of his contract, which would be appealing, and he has shown that like every week he gets a little bit better each week, and he's obviously supremely talented. A lot of hero ball, which would not go well with Shanahan, and
Nope.
and the big personality. I don't know if that would go well either. I feel like Kyle likes a guy like Jimmy and like Brock and Trey, who's just kind of quiet and humble and just puts their head down and goes to work. Not that Caleb doesn't work hard, I'm sure he does, but he also, any guy that's painting his nails and getting a little flamboyant that way, I don't know if that would jive with Kyle.
Yeah, I don't. It would be an interesting culture fit, especially with all the strong, like veteran personalities like Trent Williams and Fred Warner. Like I don't know. I imagine they'd be like, "Who is this guy that we're bringing into our locker room?" And I just was thrown off when they like drafted a punter or whatever, and he's like, "We're not going to be punting around here a lot." And then the first game, they do a ton of punting. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird statement for a rookie to make.
Yeah, he was super confident, obviously. The
Yeah.
last one on here I wouldn't mind touching on is Jaden Daniels.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Bo
Oh,
Nix. What the heck?
no, maybe Colin Cowherd, but I'm not taking Bo over Brock. And there is no package. But Jaden Daniels has got all the hype in the world right now. And although he looks really, really good and really promising, I know Brock is really good. And I don't know that Jaden Daniels, maybe he's a Hall of Famer. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I know Brock's going to be really good for the next 10 plus years. So I'm sticking with Brock. Although my price would be pretty cheap, especially since he's a rookie. I mean, if you gave me Jaden Daniels and like a 2, I'm like, okay, yeah, done.
So that's
I am
let,
taking it 1 for 1. I'm
ooh,
taking Jaden
I don't
Daniels.
blame you. A 2
Yeah,
might be greedy.
I
They could
like
probably
him.
talk me down to a 5th, honestly.
I like him. I haven't watched enough Commanders, but I've seen the highlights, and I've caught snippets of games, and he looks really damn good. I think he's going to be a baller in the league. Obviously, he's not as proven as Brock. That's like my only hesitation, but super duper talented. I would take it 1 for 1.
the most
Yeah.
appealing thing about him is the rookie contract. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
I know that he started really well and good for him, but like a few games, show me a couple seasons before we're really talking about the production. I mean, yeah. But the rookie contract makes it appealing, and so maybe they wouldn't have to throw in much. But like Ryan said, I feel like I already know what I got in Brock. I'm going to stick with that unless you give me something pretty good. Pretty good might just be like a mid round pick because then you're thinking about that rookie contract. But I'm going to stick with what you said, Ryan. I think I want at least a 2. I don't think you're talking me down much more than a 2, maybe a 3.
What makes me kind of a more of a believer in Jaden Daniels is like it's not empty stats he's putting up. They're legitimately winning games. I think they're 4-2, and the Commanders aren't that talented of a roster. I know they have some talent. I'm not saying they're like bottom of the league, but not terribly talented, and they're winning games. Like Jaden Daniels balling out, and it's translating to actually like winning. Like that's impressive for me.
Okay, but counterpoint, and I haven't watched a Commanders game, so I'm not saying anything like from my own eyes. Aren't they they have a new offense, right? A new offensive coordinator this year,
Cliff
I don't know.
Kingsbury.
and so they're kind of gimmicky in my mind, and just wait till there's some film on him. Like it kind of gives me Kaepernick vibes, which you
Oh
know
wow.
coming in early and just taking the league by storm, and then people kind of figure him out. So that's why I say I want to see him proven a little more before I give up on a proven commodity like Brock. I'm not saying that he's gonna be Kaepernick or that he's going to fall off or anything like that. I'm just saying that you see this a lot when you have a dynamic young player that there's not really film on at first. They look great, and then somebody figures them out, and you have to find out whether or not they have a counterpunch. And I feel like Cliff Kingsbury, I forgot it was Kingsbury, but I'm glad you said that, Ryan. I feel like I just don't have faith in him that he's going to keep it up.
No.
Like the first year that Chip Kelly came to the NFL with Michael Vick as his quarterback, the aged Michael Vick as his quarterback, they started that year like crazy hot. They were kicking everybody's butt, and nobody had seen an offense like it. And then it kind of fizzled out. And so I feel like there's lots of historical examples of stuff like this where I don't know that Jaden Daniels is going to keep this up. And if he does, good on him. I'm not like rooting against him or anything. I got nothing against the guy, but yeah, I just got to see it.
Fair enough.